Hey guys, today I have my Diary of an Army Girlfriend part 5 for you, and today's video is going to be dedicated to basic graduation because my boyfriend is now officially a United States Army soldier. Let me start by saying, if you're thinking about going to graduation but you're not sure if you really want to, go. Like, if you can get off of work, if you don't have school, go to the graduation. It is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I'm so happy that I went, and I'm sure that he is very happy that we came down for his graduation as well. So his family and we flew down the day before. We wanted time to get the rental car, and we had to drive from the airport to the post, and just to be comfortable and not be stressed out, like show up the morning of, because family day was at 8 a.m. We would have had to leave New York at like midnight to possibly get there on time. So we flew down the day before, we stopped to eat somewhere, we drove, we got to the post at like 8 o'clock at night. It was super confusing in the dark. Like, my GPS was telling me just to go straight and then make a left, and the guards at the gate were like, sure, that sounds right. And the GPS was right. It brought me to the hotel, but the check-in was at a different part of the post somewhere, and it was just really confusing, and it was really dark, but we figured it out. We got into the rooms. The on-post hotels were great. I basically got like an apartment to myself for a few days, and it was great. I loved it. And the first night we were looking for somewhere to eat because it was super late and everything is closed, and we're not used to that being from New York, but we found like a Pizza Hut, and on the way back we heard, I think it's called Retreat when it's at night, not Reveille, but we heard the music going off, and I had this like gut feeling that the buildings we were passing by were the barracks. It is so weird spending 10, 11 weeks apart, and then suddenly you're within like a 2-mile radius of the person that you miss so much, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so close. Why? Like, I'm still so far, and I can't talk to them, and I can't share a bed with them, and it's this really weird feeling of like, oh my god, we're so close yet so far. But I could tell that he was there, and I was right. I asked him later, like, where are your barracks? And then I got like a tour of the barracks. So we ate some really bad pizza, and then we called it a night. I tried to get myself to go to sleep as early as possible because I knew we were going to be up super early in the morning for family day, and I somehow managed to actually fall asleep. It was probably because traveling all day is exhausting. I ended up waking up, I think before morning reveille. It was like 4:30 or 5 in the morning, and I did my hair, I did my makeup, I ironed my dress, I walked in circles around my hotel room. I was so nervous. It's so weird feeling so nervous to see someone that you know for so many years. So on family day, we were supposed to meet up at 9 a.m. to have like a family breakfast together, and then we got him to ourselves from 10 a.m. until 8:45 p.m. I had heard you should be at anything early, and thankfully we got there early. We got there at 7:45 for something that starts at 9, and it looked like we were late. There were so many people lined up waiting, and I'm standing on the line, and then they walk in, and I like froze, and I had to have his dad be like, just go over there. So I went over closer, and I was recording them like walking in, and I was getting super nervous, like, oh my god, I'm gonna see him. I ended up putting my camera away because I was like, I don't want to be holding my camera. I don't want to be recording this. This is my moment. I put my camera away, and as I look back up, the drill sergeant had told him to fall out and told him to run, not like walk fall out, like run to us. And I suddenly have over 200 soldiers running straight at me, and I can't find mine. I'm like, oh my god, they all look the same. And thankfully he saw me, and he did like a straight beeline right into me, and it was just such a happy moment. Like, nothing can explain how happy I was. Like, I'm getting like happy tears thinking about it. Just like, we made it. His mother actually recorded our first embrace, so if you want to see that really cute video, it's on my Instagram at JulieJigsaw. We were just so happy, and you can tell, and it was just such a beautiful moment. And I only teared up a tiny bit. I contained myself. I was just so happy, and nothing can explain that moment. So if you can go to their basic graduation, I highly recommend you do, because it's beautiful. Just I'm still super cheesy happy over it. So once we got our soldiers back, and we all had our first embraces, and we all were like, oh my god, I missed you so much, I love you so much, we had to stand in line and wait to get into the family breakfast. I don't think most basic training companies do the whole like family breakfast thing. but if you happen to be one of those people that does it, make sure you buy tickets for that. It's a really nice experience. There were a few speeches given by people like the Lieutenant Colonel of the post and some of the sergeants, and there was like this whole little ceremony. And it's only the first hour of your day, and then you have your soldier all day to do whatever you want. There were a bunch of things that you could do on the post. They had like a bowling alley and a museum and all these things you can do, but my soldiers just kind of wanted to chill out and relax like in the hotel room, or maybe go to the PX and get a Starbucks because he hasn't had coffee in a while. So we just chilled all day and we caught up because it's been so long since we've been able... Those children sound like they're in my backyard. It's still Halloween. They should not be this close to my windows. They should not. It had been so long since we were able to like communicate faster than snail mail, so we just really enjoyed the opportunity to spend a couple hours just hanging out and talking and just catching up, and I loved hearing all of his stories, especially from his final few bits of training that I didn't get letters about. It was super interesting to hear, and just hearing the stories be told instead of written out is always better in my opinion, because you get all the expression and like you get all the little jokes and stuff. One of the cool things on Family Day was my boyfriend showed me around the barracks. He just wanted to go pick up all the letters that I had sent him to give to me so that I could like organize them in the album that I have, but he also showed me around the barracks. There were a few other families getting little tours from their soldiers, and it was really cool to see where he's been like sleeping for the past 2 months and like where he's been. I don't know. So if you get a chance to go into the barracks, I recommend that you do. It's cool to see. At the end of Family Day, we went to a steakhouse off post and we got some pretty good food, and then we had to bring him back to the barracks. So we drove him over to the barracks and we were just gonna drop him off, but obviously I need to like observe everything. So I went out with him and I stood around for a few minutes before they called formation, and he told me to just leave when formation started and he'll see me tomorrow. Yeah, okay, I'll just leave. No. I stood around because everyone else just stood around, and I recorded the whole thing, and it was such a weirdly new experience, and I'm so happy I stuck around. Like, I never understood why they do all the screaming and all the cadences and all the shouting and everything, but like, it made my adrenaline rush, and it was so weird because I'm not even the one who is screaming and counting off. It's so weird how just some like roaring can get that reaction out of you, and it totally makes sense to me now why they do all of the cadences and everything. So after formation, their drill sergeant told them they have 2 minutes to get upstairs and change because somebody didn't show up to formation, and got them all smoked one last time. I expected them to smoke them at least one last time before they graduated, just for any reason. They just got a good reason for it. So when the drill sergeant told them they had 2 minutes to get up to the barracks and change, I had never seen people run that fast. They stampeded, but since there were families in the way, they're like, "Excuse me, sorry, just gotta get through, gotta run really fast." It was a funny moment to me. Obviously to them it sucked because they had to go and do push-ups. After a whole long day of Family Day, I went back to the hotel room and I passed out. Like, I was exhausted. The next day was his graduation, and it was at 1 p.m. because there was another company graduating in the morning. And we got there at like 11:45, and again, we looked like we were late. Everybody was already there. There were like 50 people in line. So if I haven't stressed it enough yet, make sure you're early to everything. Getting to the post, getting to the Family Day, getting to the graduation, just be early for everything. So we got seats like right at the front of the stage, which was awesome. So I got a whole bunch of really great videos and pictures of his graduation that I'm sure that we will love for the rest of our lives and be able to look back on. The feeling that I had when they just started their first cadence with all 200 something men and women just roaring at us and stomping, like marching down the stage and around, and just, it is so overwhelming, and you get this like, it's just this feeling, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's amazing. And if I haven't mentioned it, the feeling of pride you get seeing them and knowing that they made it and they're now Army soldiers, it's just so beautiful. Like, all I felt was like overflowing pride, like, oh my god, he did it, he made it, I'm so proud of him, he's amazing. So graduation's over, we have him again for the rest of the day, and again, just a chill day, just hung around, did our thing. And did I mention that he looks so cute in his dress blues? I mean, the waiting for basic to be over to see them in their uniforms is so worth it. Sadly, I did not get to see him in his ACUs because his company made them wear their dress blues for both days. So I still have yet to see him in his camo, but I can't wait because I've seen him in the camo hat and it is the cutest thing ever. But in the dress blues, he looks so dashing. You're gonna love seeing your soldier in their dress blues and their ACUs, whatever they're wearing. Seeing them dressed as a soldier is like, wow, they look great. At the end, oh my fucking, I'm not giving you candy. 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 No. Oh my god. Oh my god. Really? Really? Oh, and now my dog starts barking. Hold on. So since I had given you guys a few graduation gift ideas, I thought I would update you on the fact that my boyfriend loved his graduation gift. Couldn't put it down the entire time that he was with us. He just had music playing in the background the whole time, which I didn't mind. And I know that now that he's in AIT, he has actually used it to FaceTime me, and he uses it daily just to listen to music and play games, and he's so happy. So, graduation gift, awesome on my part. I'm proud of myself. I did a good job. Pat myself on the shoulder. So on graduation day, at the end of the day in the formation, it went a little bit differently. They went into formation, they counted them off, and then they gave them 5 extra minutes with their families, which was super nice of the drill sergeant. And then they went back into formation, and then they went back to the barracks, and nobody was smoked, which was super nice. But as they were going back to the barracks, retreat happened. Witnessing Reveille and Retreat in person is such a surreal experience. I had already witnessed it once before, earlier in the day on graduation day. We happened to be outside during Reveille. I think it's called Reveille at 5, I think, or maybe it's retreat at that point, I'm not certain. And we happened to be outside, and my boyfriend was in the middle of a sentence, and he just stopped and saluted in the direction of the flag, and I saw all the cars on the street pull off to the side of the road and everyone get out and salute. Just everyone stop whatever they're doing to salute. It was such a cool, like, military tradition to witness, so if you witness it, I'd love to know how you feel about it because it's so surreal. But anyway, on graduation day after they were going back to the barracks, they happened to send them in at like 8:59. So there were still a few soldiers outside, and the drill sergeant was outside. Everyone again stops what they're doing, they drop whatever they're holding onto the floor, and they salute. And I was like kind of annoyed that some families were just like walking away because they don't know what's going on. But I did the respectful thing, and I stood there and I waited because I feel like, you know, if they're gonna do it, civilians should do it too. And I thought that I would show my respect, and then I continued with my night. I highly recommend you take lots of pictures and lots of videos at the graduation. I didn't take as much as I said I would and that I wanted to because I was just so like absorbed in the moment. But if you remember, make sure you take pictures and videos because you're going to want to look back on them. If your person just recently left and they're still in reception or in red phase and it feels like there's 30 years until you're going to see them again or hear their voice again because you're snail mailing it, trust me, you're going to blink and you're going to have a United States Army soldier or whatever branch that they're in. And you're going to be so full of pride when you see them there in their uniform, and it's going to be all so worth it. It's really an indescribable feeling how you feel seeing them, knowing that they made it through their training and they're now soldiers. So I think that covers just about everything about my experience with the basic training graduation. I know this video is not really like super in-depth or anything, it's just kind of a little recap on the fact that I saw my soldier graduate and I'm so proud of him and I can't wait for the rest of this journey. Basic was only the beginning, but it was also probably one of the hardest parts, other than I'm assuming deployments are going to be super stressful as well, but everything one day at a time, and now that he's in AIT, it's a totally different experience and I can do a video on that for you guys. I feel like basic training is a training experience for those back home too, to prepare themselves for a life with someone in the Army, and it's been a roller coaster of emotions, I won't lie. This is definitely not going to be my last video of my Diary of an Army Girlfriend series, it's just going to be the end of the basic training portion of it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the beginning of my journey into being an Army girlfriend, and I hope you guys stick around for the rest of the videos that I'll be doing in the future. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want me to talk about, make sure you leave it in the comments down below. I love hearing you guys' stories and communicating with you about this. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I just wanted you to know that you are not alone. We're all going through this together, and it's all just one step at a time. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Also, my boyfriend came out of basic a changed man. He is not only a United States Army soldier, but he also takes silly selfies. And dances. So, thank you, Army. You've changed him for the better.